Sister wives scandal. Kody and Robyn arrested at the airport while fleeing to Europe with family's property documents. Hello friends, welcome to the Daily Gossip News Update. I'm Olivia, and I hope you're well by God's grace. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In a shocking twist that no one saw coming, Kody Brown and his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, were arrested at the Salt Lake City International Airport late last night while allegedly attempting to flee to Europe with all the family's property documents. The dramatic scene, witnessed by stunned travelers and caught on cell phone videos, marks one of the most sensational chapters yet in the turbulent saga of TLC's Sister Wives. This stunning development has sent shockwaves through the Brown family, their fans, and the polygamist community. According to early reports, police intervened just as the couple was boarding a flight to Paris. In their possession were suitcases stuffed with deeds, contracts, and financial records tied to the family's Kody+ property and other assets. Here is the full story: how it happened, why it happened, and what it could mean for the fractured Brown family going forward. The arrest, a scene of chaos at the airport. At around 10:45 p.m., airport authorities received a tip from an anonymous caller that a couple matching Kody and Robyn Brown's description were attempting to leave the country with sensitive property documents that did not belong to them alone. Eyewitnesses reported seeing Kody and Robyn at the Air France check-in counter, visibly agitated as they argued with an airline staff member over excess luggage fees. Several large suitcases, some bulging at the seams, drew attention. When the police showed up, Kody started yelling about how it was all a mistake and how he was just taking his wife on a vacation, said one passenger, who caught part of the incident on video. But the officers didn't seem convinced. They opened the bags right there and pulled out stacks of paper, deeds, legal folders, binders. It looked like a whole law office inside those bags. In the now viral video, Robyn can be seen clutching Kody's arm and crying as officers handcuffed them. Kody, wearing his signature curls and a leather jacket, is heard shouting, "This is just a family matter. You don't understand. This is my property." But the officers calmly escorted them away as Robyn sobbed, "Please don't do this here. We're good people." The motive? Why were they fleeing? It did not take long for speculation to erupt about what exactly drove Kody and Robyn to such desperate measures. Over the past 2 seasons of Sister Wives, viewers have watched the family fall apart, with Janelle, Christine, and Mary leaving Kody one by one, citing emotional neglect, favoritism toward Robyn, and financial disputes. At the center of much of this conflict has been the Kody+ property in Flagstaff, Arizona, a sprawling piece of land that Kody had long promised would become the family's forever home. But progress on building homes there stalled for years as financial problems, disagreements, and divorces tore the family apart. According to insiders close to the family, Kody has been increasingly paranoid about losing his claim to the property as his ex-wives pushed for their shares to be legally returned to them. "This was his last stand," said one anonymous source. Kody felt like everyone was against him. The wives, the kids, even the fans. He believed they were conspiring to leave him with nothing. So he and Robyn decided they'd just take everything and start over somewhere far away. Europe was the plan. Court records indicate that Janelle and Mary had recently filed formal claims to have their names restored to parts of the property and to access funds they said Kody wrongfully withheld. What was in the suitcases? When authorities opened Kody and Robyn's luggage, they reportedly found original deeds and title documents for the Kody+ parcels, bank statements, and account information for various family-owned LLCs, birth certificates, passports, and social security cards belonging to several of Kody's adult children, jewelry and cash estimated at over $50,000, several tablets and laptops loaded with family financial records. "This wasn't just a vacation gone wrong," said one law enforcement official. They were leaving with documents that belonged to multiple family members and business partners. If they had succeeded, it would have created a nightmare for everyone left behind. The fallout. How did the family react? As news of the arrest spread, Christine, Janelle, and Mary all issued separate statements to the media within hours. Christine posted on Instagram, "Some of you have already heard what happened tonight. I'm shocked but not surprised. For years we tried to believe he had our best interests at heart. I hope justice is served, and everyone can finally move on. My kids and I are safe and grateful to all of you for your support. Janelle wrote, "It breaks my heart to see it come to this. But the truth always comes out. Kody and Robyn's actions tonight speak for themselves. We will let the law handle it now." Mary's statement was more cryptic. "Everything done in the dark will come to light." Enough said. Fans flooded social media with a mix of outrage, sympathy, and disbelief. Many criticized Kody and Robyn for their selfishness and greed, while others expressed sadness at how far the family had fallen. Legal consequences. What happens next? As of this writing, Kody and Robyn have been released on bail but face serious charges, including attempted theft of property, fraudulent transfer of assets, possession of stolen documents, attempting to flee jurisdiction to avoid civil litigation. If convicted, they could face hefty fines, the loss of remaining assets, and even prison time. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for next month, during which the other wives are expected to testify about Kody's handling of family property and finances. Why Europe? One of the biggest questions is, why did Kody and Robyn choose Europe as their destination? Family insiders claim that Kody had been researching property and residency options in France and Portugal for months, believing that he could avoid American courts and start fresh. "He told me once, 'They'll never find me in the French countryside,'" one source revealed. He thought he was smarter than everyone else. They reportedly purchased tickets under fake names, Kevin and Rachel Brown, and had reserved a small villa in southern France to move into upon arrival. A timeline of the family's collapse. To understand how the Browns reached this dramatic point, it helps to revisit key moments over the past several years. 2018, the family relocates from Las Vegas to Flagstaff, Arizona, purchasing Coyote Pass land. 2019 to 2021, growing tensions between wives and Kody due to financial issues and favoritism toward Robyn. 2021, Christine leaves Kody, moves to Utah, and later remarries. 2022, Janelle separates from Kody. 2023, Mary finally announces her departure from the marriage. 2024, lawsuits filed by Janelle and Mary to reclaim their shares of family property. 2025, now Kody and Robyn attempt to flee with documents, leading to their arrest. The bigger picture: polygamy, patriarchy, and power. Beyond the personal drama, many observers see this incident as a cautionary tale about polygamy, patriarchy, and unchecked power. For years, Kody used his role as patriarch to control not just the emotional lives of his wives, but also the financial and legal aspects of their shared lives. Robyn, who came into the family later than the others, quickly became his favorite and, according to critics, enabled some of his worst instincts. Together, they appeared to isolate themselves from the rest of the family, making decisions in secret and marginalizing the other wives. "This is what happens when one man holds all the cards," said a former member of their church. "When things start to fall apart, the people at the top will do anything to stay in power." Fans react, from shock to vindication. On Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok, fans of sister wives have been dissecting every detail of the arrest since the news broke. Some express sadness. "I used to root for Kody. Now I just feel sorry for everyone who trusted him." Others felt vindicated. "Christine warned us years ago. Janelle, and Mary too. Kody and Robyn always had a plan to take it all." And some even poked fun at the situation. Plot twist: next season of Sister Wives is filmed in prison. What happens to the property now? With Kody and Robyn facing legal trouble and the deeds in police custody, the fate of the Coyote Pass property remains uncertain. Legal experts say that, because the property was purchased jointly and has been subject to multiple lawsuits, the courts will likely freeze the assets until rightful ownership is determined. Christine, who has long since moved on and remarried, has said she wants nothing to do with it anymore. Janelle and Mary, however, have both expressed interest in reclaiming their shares and possibly selling the land. "The dream of building on Coyote Pass is probably dead now," said one observer. "Too much bad blood, too much legal baggage." But at least the truth is finally coming out. What's next for Kody and Robyn? After being released on bail, Kody and Robyn retreated to their Flagstaff rental home, avoiding reporters. Sources say their children are staying with friends and extended family for now. Kody reportedly told a friend, "This was just a misunderstanding. They'll see we did nothing wrong. Everyone is out to get us." Robyn, meanwhile, has not been seen in public since the arrest. If convicted, they could face several years in prison and lose all remaining family assets to pay restitution. For over a decade, Sister Wives captivated audiences with its depiction of a large, complicated polygamist family navigating love, faith, and modern life. But behind the scenes, power struggles and personal betrayals chipped away at the foundation of their family. This latest episode, Kody and Robyn arrested at the airport with suitcases full of family documents, feels like the inevitable climax to years of dysfunction. Whether this is the final chapter of the Brown story remains to be seen. TLC has not commented yet on whether filming will continue. For now, all eyes remain on the upcoming court hearings, where the fate of the family's assets and Kody and Robyn's future will be decided. Sister Wives drama. Janelle and Mary curse Kody, declaring he will never be happy after neglecting his ex-wives. The Sister Wives saga took a dark and emotional turn this week as Janelle Brown and Mary Brown publicly confronted their ex-husband, Kody Brown, and declared, with trembling voices and blazing eyes, that he would never find happiness after neglecting and discarding them. What began as a quiet, tear-filled family gathering ended in a fiery exchange of accusations, heartbreak, and even what some witnesses called a curse, placed on Kody by the women who had once stood by his side through decades of marriage and struggle. In this long and gripping account, we explore exactly what happened during that confrontation, why Janelle and Mary felt compelled to speak such damning words, how Kody reacted, and what it all means for the future of the fractured Brown family. The scene. A family meeting turns ugly. It all unfolded on a rainy afternoon at Coyote Pass, the land in Flagstaff, Arizona, that was once supposed to house the united Brown family. According to insiders, Janelle and Mary had agreed to meet Kody there, supposedly to discuss lingering property disputes and settle financial matters. Christine was not present, having already moved on with her new husband, David Woolley, and Robyn was reportedly asked not to come. At first, the atmosphere was tense but civil. The three sat under a makeshift canopy at a wooden table, surrounded by the dusty, empty acres that had come to symbolize so many broken promises. Janelle reportedly opened the discussion by pulling out a folder of documents, her hands shaking but her voice firm. "We've waited long enough, Kody. It's time to make this right. You can't keep stalling forever." Kody, wearing jeans and a black hoodie, leaned back in his chair and folded his arms. Witnesses said he looked more annoyed than remorseful. "What do you even want from me anymore? You've both made it clear you don't want me in your lives. Why are we even here?" It was then that Mary, usually the more restrained of the two, leaned forward and spoke words that stunned everyone present. "Because you owe us more than money, Kody. You owe us your respect, your love, your accountability. But you threw all that away when you chose Robyn over us. And don't think you'll ever find happiness after what you've done. You won't. I swear you won't." Janelle nodded in agreement, her own voice rising. "We gave you everything. Our youth, our loyalty, our dreams. And you tossed us aside like trash. You're cursed, Kody. You'll never be happy again." Why Janelle and Mary finally spoke up. For years, viewers watched Janelle and Mary endure quiet suffering as Kody's affection and attention shifted more and more toward Robyn. Mary, his first wife, had once been his closest confidant and most trusted partner, only to find herself emotionally abandoned, often sleeping alone while Kody openly doted on Robyn. Janelle, known for her practicality and patience, tolerated years of neglect and dismissiveness before finally walking away. In interviews over the last few seasons of Sister Wives, both women hinted at the pain of being cast aside, but they never directly expressed anger to Kody's face until now. One close family friend explained, "They held it in for so long. They wanted to be dignified, to keep the family together. But seeing how smug he's been, how little remorse he shows, it finally broke them. And in that moment, they decided to say what they really felt, even if it sounded like a curse. The curse, words with weight. While some might dismiss their words as metaphorical, those who were present said the force of Janelle and Mary's declaration carried an eerie weight. According to one witness, it was like the air changed when they said it. Janelle and Mary stood up at the same time, and the wind picked up out of nowhere. Mary pointed her finger at him and said, "You'll never know peace, Kody Brown." It gave me chills. Janelle reportedly added, "Your life will feel empty no matter how much you cling to her. You'll never escape what you did to us." In polygamist and fundamentalist circles, curses, whether formal or emotional, are not unheard of. Many believe that the emotional wounds inflicted within a marriage carry spiritual consequences. Kody's reaction. Those who know Kody well say he is not one to take criticism lightly, and certainly not from women he perceives as having abandoned him. At first, witnesses say, he laughed nervously and dismissed their words as drama. "You two are ridiculous," he reportedly scoffed. "I gave you everything I could. If you're unhappy, that's your problem, not mine." But as the confrontation wore on and the women grew more emotional and intense, his confidence seemed to falter. His voice cracked when he finally replied, "You can't talk to me like that. You don't understand the pressure I was under. You don't know what it's like to carry this family all alone." However, even as he tried to defend himself, he could not meet their eyes. Eventually, he stormed off toward his truck, muttering under his breath, leaving Janelle and Mary standing together on the empty land. Robyn's role. Though Robyn was not present at the meeting, her presence loomed large over every word spoken. Both Janelle and Mary blamed her, at least in part, for Kody's neglect of them, believing she encouraged his favoritism and deepened the divide between him and his other wives. In interviews, both women have expressed how hurtful it was to watch him build a life with Robyn while ignoring them emotionally and financially. "It was like we didn't exist anymore," Janelle once said. "He only saw her." Robyn, for her part, has always denied manipulating Kody or pushing the other wives out. But many fans, and apparently Janelle and Mary themselves, remain unconvinced. Fans react to the confrontation. Once the story of the dramatic showdown became public, thanks to bystanders who leaked details online, fans of the show were quick to weigh in. On Reddit, one commenter wrote, "Good for them. He deserves to hear how much pain he caused. He spent years gaslighting them while Robyn played innocent." On Instagram, another fan posted, "You reap what you sow, Kody. No amount of new wives or big houses can fix a broken heart, let alone two." Some even suggested that the confrontation marked a spiritual turning point. The curse is real. He's going to feel the emptiness of everything he's done. It's karma, plain and simple. The aftermath, a broken man? In the days since the confrontation, those close to Kody report that he has been uncharacteristically quiet and withdrawn. One friend said, "He won't admit it, but their words rattled him. He keeps saying he's fine, but he looks haunted. He's not sleeping. He's barely eating. I think he's finally realizing what he's lost." Robyn has reportedly been trying to console him, but even she is struggling under the weight of the family's collapse and public backlash. Some insiders say that the couple is now arguing more than ever, with Kody lashing out at her as well. A history of neglect. To understand the depth of Janelle and Mary's anger, it helps to look back at how things unraveled over the years. Mary and Kody, once deeply in love, their marriage fell apart after a catfishing scandal and years of emotional distance. Mary repeatedly begged for his attention, only to be brushed off. Janelle and Kody, their relationship was more pragmatic than romantic, but even Janelle grew tired of his dismissiveness and lack of effort to nurture their connection. The Robyn factor. When Robyn joined the family, many felt Kody's love and attention shifted almost entirely to her, leaving the other wives feeling invisible and unloved. Years of favoritism, broken promises, and emotional neglect finally drove all three women to leave him. Whether one believes in curses or not, it is clear that the words spoken by Janelle and Mary have already affected Kody deeply. Psychologists often talk about the power of words to wound, particularly when they come from those we once loved. In this case, Kody may now have to live with the knowledge that he hurt the very women who once believed in him. "You can't just erase decades of pain with excuses," said one family friend. Those words will echo in his mind every time he looks at himself in the mirror. Moving on, Janelle and Mary's next chapter. In contrast, Janelle and Mary appear to be moving forward with their lives. Janelle has been focusing on her career, her children, and reclaiming her share of the family property. "I feel lighter without him," she recently told a friend. "Like I can finally breathe." Mary has also begun to rebuild her self-esteem and independence, launching her own business ventures and reconnecting with extended family. "For the first time in years," she said, "I feel free." For fans of Sister Wives, this confrontation serves as both a heartbreaking and inspiring chapter in the story. It reminds us of the importance of self-respect, the dangers of neglecting loved ones, and the fact that even the most patient hearts can reach their breaking point. One fan summed it up perfectly. "He taught us what not to do. They taught us how to stand up for ourselves." What's next for Kody? Only time will tell if Kody can recover from the damage, both to his family and to himself. For now, he remains with Robyn, but their relationship appears strained. He faces ongoing legal battles over property and custody, as well as a mounting public backlash. Some speculate that he may eventually try to reconcile with his ex-wives, though insiders believe it is far too late for that. As one former church elder put it, "You can't build happiness on a foundation of pain. Until he makes amends, he'll keep chasing peace and never find it." The confrontation between Kody, Janelle, and Mary at Coyote Pass will likely go down as one of the most dramatic moments in Sister Wives history, a reckoning years in the making. In the end, two women who had endured so much stood together, looked their ex-husband in the eye, and told him the truth, that his actions had consequences and that he would never find true happiness until he faced them. Whether or not their words truly cursed him may not matter. The guilt, regret, and loneliness that now surround him may be punishment enough. And as Janelle and Mary walked away from that empty land, hand in hand, their heads held high, one thing was clear. They were finally free, and he was finally alone. Sister Wives scandal. Michael T. accuses Father Kody Brown of neglect in emotional confrontation. In what has become one of the most talked-about moments in the history of Sister Wives, Michael T. Brown Padron, the daughter of Christine and Kody Brown, publicly accused her father of emotional neglect during a tearful confrontation that left the entire family stunned. The emotional exchange, which took place at a family gathering intended to heal wounds, instead exposed years of unspoken pain between father and daughter. What started as an attempt at reconciliation spiraled into one of the most raw, heartbreaking conversations ever seen in the Brown family, and perhaps on reality television. Here is the full story of what happened, why Michael T. decided to finally speak out, how Kody reacted, and what this means for their already fractured family. The setting: a tense family dinner. The confrontation occurred during a family dinner at Christine's home in Utah. Christine, who left Kody years earlier and has since remarried, invited her children, their spouses, and even Kody himself, hoping they could come together for the sake of the grandkids and begin to repair their broken relationships. Michael T., seated between her husband Tony and her mother Christine, was unusually quiet during the first half of the evening. She watched as Kody tried to crack jokes, laughing awkwardly as he attempted to break the ice with his children, most of whom had distanced themselves from him since his split with Christine. It was clear from the beginning that tensions were high. Several of the children barely made eye contact with him. Christine tried to keep the mood light, but even she seemed wary. As the meal came to a close, Michael T. finally put down her fork and broke the silence. "I can't sit here and pretend anymore, Dad." Michael T. speaks out. The room went silent. All eyes turned to Michael T. as she stared across the table at Kody. "You keep showing up to these things like nothing happened," she continued. "Like you didn't spend years ignoring us, like you didn't choose her, Robyn, and her kids over us. You hurt Mom. You hurt me. And you still don't even see it." Kody blinked, clearly taken aback. He shifted in his seat and tried to laugh it off. Come on, Kody, that's not fair. I've always loved you kids. I did the best I could. But Kody shook her head. No, you didn't. You didn't even try. You chose what was easy. You walked away from us emotionally a long time ago, Dad. You don't get to sit here and pretend you were some great father when we all know the truth. Christine put a hand on her daughter's arm, as if to calm her, but Kody pulled away, her voice rising. I remember birthdays you didn't show up to. Games you didn't come watch. Times when I needed you, and you were with them instead. You don't even know who I am anymore, do you? Why? Kody finally spoke up. For years, Kody remained relatively quiet about her feelings toward her father, even as her mother, Christine, and her siblings became more vocal about Kody's favoritism toward Robyn and her children. Friends of the family say Kody had been holding back, partly out of respect for her mother and partly because she hoped Kody would eventually see his mistakes and make amends. But according to those close to her, Kody's breaking point came after Kody missed a milestone in her life, her son's first birthday, because he was reportedly busy, helping Robyn and her children with a move. That was it for her, said one family friend. She felt like even her own children weren't enough to pull him back. That hurt more than anything. Kody's defense. As Kody continued to speak her truth, Kody attempted to defend himself. You have no idea the pressure I was under, he said, his voice rising. You think I wanted things to end up this way? You think I wanted to hurt anyone? I was trying to keep this family afloat. But everyone just kept leaving me. His words only seemed to fuel Kody's anger.
No, Dad.
We didn't leave you. You left us. Long before any of us walked away, you had already chosen where you wanted to be. And it wasn't with us. The rest of the family sat in stunned silence as the argument unfolded. Tony, Kody's husband, placed a protective hand on her back, quietly supporting her but saying nothing. Christine's other children looked down at their plates, clearly uncomfortable but also nodding in quiet agreement with Kody's words. Christine herself wiped away tears but did not intervene beyond a few murmured, "Let's not do this here." But it was clear the moment had been building for years, and Kody wasn't going to stop. To understand the weight of Kody's accusations, it helps to look back at her relationship with Kody over the years. In the early seasons of Sister Wives, Kody was often shown as a bubbly, independent teenager, but also one who craved her father's approval. She invited Kody to help plan her wedding, but he showed little enthusiasm and often seemed distracted. She launched a business venture, hoping he'd notice her ambition, but he barely asked about it. When she announced her first pregnancy, he congratulated her but quickly turned the conversation back to his own troubles. According to Kody, these were just a few examples of how he continually overlooked her. "I learned not to expect much from him," she told a friend once. "It hurt, but I stopped asking for more." When news of the confrontation leaked online, fans of the show flooded social media with reactions, most of them in support of Kody. On Reddit, "Good for her. Someone finally said what we've all been thinking for years." On Instagram, "You could see the pain in her eyes all these seasons. I'm proud of her for standing up for herself." On Twitter, "Neglect doesn't always mean abandoning someone physically. Emotional neglect is just as real. Kody deserves better." Some fans even suggested that this might be a turning point for the family, that perhaps Kody would finally be forced to reflect on his actions. After Kody finished speaking, she reportedly stood up from the table and left the room, with Tony following her. Kody remained seated, his face pale and his eyes downcast. He muttered something about how they'll never understand before excusing himself and leaving shortly after. Those who remained said the room was heavy with emotion, a mixture of sadness, relief, and exhaustion. Christine reportedly sighed and said softly, "It needed to be said." The emotional impact. The confrontation reportedly left Kody shaken. According to a family friend, he's not used to being called out, especially by his kids. He thinks of himself as this big, charismatic father figure, but now even his children are telling him he failed. Kody, meanwhile, was said to feel both relieved and heartbroken after the exchange. "She didn't want to hurt him," said one friend. But she couldn't keep pretending everything was okay. Whether the relationship between Kody and Mykelti can be repaired remains to be seen. Sources close to the family say that while Mykelti is open to reconciliation, it would require serious effort and accountability on Kody's part, something he has not shown much willingness to do. Christine and Tony have both reportedly encouraged Mykelti to focus on her own healing and her young family rather than waiting for her father to change. This confrontation speaks to a larger issue within the Brown family, one that fans have observed for years. Polygamy, by its nature, often stretches emotional and physical resources thin. Kody's choice to prioritize one wife and her children over others left a trail of hurt feelings, broken relationships, and emotional neglect. "He always claimed he was doing his best," said one observer. But in the end, his best wasn't enough, especially for his kids. Mykelti's bravery in speaking out has resonated deeply with viewers. It has sparked conversations about the long-term impact of emotional neglect on children, the importance of validating your children's feelings, the need for accountability, even from parents. One fan summed it up on social media: "We teach kids to respect their parents, but parents also need to respect their kids." Mykelti reminded us of that. A daughter's love, a daughter's pain. Perhaps the most heartbreaking part of the confrontation is that it came not from hatred but from love, from a daughter who longed for her father's attention and approval, but never received it. Her words that night captured both her pain and her lingering hope that someday he might understand. "I just wanted you to see me, Dad. But you never really looked." The confrontation between Mykelti and Kody was more than just a family argument. It was a reckoning years in the making. It exposed not only the cracks in their relationship, but also the deep emotional scars left behind when a parent fails to truly show up for their children. Whether or not Kody chooses to face these truths and make amends is up to him. But one thing is certain: Mykelti's words will echo in his mind for a long time to come. As she walked out of the room that night,